Were you here last time? I left my house in Santa Fe, found a camp spot and froze my ass off. I fell over, rode by a guy on a bike, stared down a vicious mother cow, made friends with some cute little puppies, saw some gorgeous views, and went to sleep in a very pretty desert. If you're wondering what I'm up to, I'm riding my 20-year-old dual-sport motorcycle south from Santa Fe, New Mexico, on the New Mexico Backcountry Discovery route. I made it here and camped for the night last time, and we're gonna see through this series of videos if I make it all the way south, and probably come back home to Santa Fe. That was a much better night. Much, much better. It was so quiet here last night. And the Milky Way was just horizon to horizon. I got up fairly early, 8:30 or 9. That's early for me. Today I figure I'll get kind of south of the freeway, I-40, south of Grants somewhere. At least I hope I will. And then ride and ride and ride. Ride some more. That's all there is. That is all there is. Oh man, I'm feeling so little confidence. Hey guys. Apparently this is just the way of the morning. I will be without confidence. Morning being a relative term. I think it's still morning, but I definitely just started. Just starting and just getting on sand are not my favorite combination. And it looks like we've got a lot coming. Like maybe only sand. Pulling the clutch in the sand, Andy. Whew. Feeling that front washout gets me every time. I think it can go a lot further than it has gone before it's a problem, but man, am I used to it. God damn. Sand in the morning. Give me a chance to remember what it's like to ride a motorcycle for a second. I think I should probably stay in second gear for a while. Gas, gas, gas. Just say gas to yourself every time. And that's pretty much what I did. Gas, gas, gas became my morning mantra. Gas, gas, gas. Stay in the gas. Gas, 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 gas. Gas, 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 gas. Gas, gas, gas. Do a wheelie, but don't do a wheelie, there's too much sand. Gas, 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 gas. Aww. Man, I chickened out. Paddle, 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 paddle. Stop, stop, stop. That was first gear. I thought I was going to get into first gear. So much sand. How do you do this? Oh boy, so much sand. I wonder how long this is going to last. I'm guessing quite a while. And it was quite a while indeed, pretty much from the time I got off Route 550 south of Cuba till the pavement started again just north of my left turn to ride up Mount Taylor. It was nearly 80 miles with a sleep in the middle and much patchy sand interspersed along the way. Happily for me, the sand really wasn't so bad. The strongest evidence of that is that I made it through. The only damage really was the fraying of my nerves. This section would definitely turn out to be one of my favorites of the whole trip. It's a really fun trail with varied surfaces, a moderate challenge for anyone at my skill level, and an absolutely spectacular place to be doing it in. Come to find out later, while telling my dad about the trip, that this trail skirts along kind of between the Continental Divide, which I knew at the time, and a beautiful, desolate area west of Santa Fe and Albuquerque known as the Checkerboard. It's well named for its appearance on a map as a confusing mix of square plots owned by the Navajo Nation, individuals, the federal government, state trust lands. I've even read that the railroads own or did own some. It's one of those weird relics of the US government's misguided, probably more accurately egregious, attempts at forcing the native population to assimilate into the way it thought things should be done. It seems pretty well documented that this was known to be a land grab for white settlers at the time, as well as an attempt at indoctrination, since the native population was only given 4 years to claim a piece of land from the government, and then the government, surprise, surprise, got to sell any unclaimed land off to anybody it wanted after those 4 years had passed, even though this was land the government had long since agreed belonged to the tribes. I'll leave some links down in the description to some articles I looked at in case you are interested. An escape from the sand, a welcome respite. How good is that pointy peak down there, huh? So good. Not even sand down here. Oh man. Black sand. So gas, yes? Yes. A little bit of red stuff up there. Pretty. How long has this little barn been here? What a gorgeous spot. So cool. Alright. I have enjoyed. I have gotten there. It took 2 days. But I am enjoying this. It is a good time. Did you catch it there? Do you understand what I was saying? I am enjoying this, finally. Definitely. Riding in the dirt is fun. Riding through the desert is fun. Even though I don't know how to ride in the sand. Camping, also fun. All these things are fun. If you saw my last video, like it, you might remember I wasn't so sure at that point. Well, are there people that like riding in the sand? I'm sure there's people that like sand dunes. I'll stop and have a cup of tea here. Cerro something, named after somebody. The thing that gets me about this route is the desolation and the distance from anyone. I've seen very few people on the road. I've seen a few cowboys taking their cattle through. I saw one person who was probably, I didn't talk to him, I wish I had, but he was walking. I'm guessing he was walking the Continental Divide Trail. And then I haven't passed any motorcyclists doing the route. I really thought I would have by now. This is the third day. It's like 1:30. I haven't seen a soul. Once I got into the desert, there's been so few people on these roads. It's amazing and fantastic. If you don't like people, this is the place for you. If If you like people, bring some people. Just had a cup of tea right here. It is so quiet. I see some critters dart across the road every once in a while, not very often. But other than that, man, there's nothing out here. Man, if you did this route in the middle of summer, you'd be in a bad place if something went wrong. Even now, it'd be a rough spot, but man, in the heat of the summer, that'd be bad news. And I've done it again. I think pretty much every time I've needed to turn off the asphalt onto the dirt, I have missed the turn. But this one, not by so much. Alright, here we go, back on the dirt. I thought I was gonna go down there, there's a little town. I was like, wow, we're gonna see people, but no. Let's not get carried away on this gravel road. I remember now that this was not where I had the best of times last time. Hey, some fun stuff. It has been just pure gravel road up until now. Starting to get up into the Ponderosa Pines, all this gorgeous ground cover. Starting to cool off up here too. If I spent the night up here, I would freeze my ass off again. I don't know how tall this mountain is, but it's pretty good sized. Mount Taylor. On a clear day, you can see it from Albuquerque. But it's got to be real clear. Yeah. Ooh, that's steep. That is really pretty, God. Oh. So much washboard. San Mateo Springs. I wonder if that's a hot springs. Oh man, look at that. Oh, it's getting chilly. I might have to put my jacket on soon. Oh my God. Wow. I'm trying to use this road to practice. I am not very good at braking. I most of the time just roll off the throttle really early. I think that's part of the problem I had when I crashed yesterday. And so I'm just trying to figure out how to hit the brakes and turn in at the same time, because I tend to do one or the other. I get locked into just braking straight and can never get myself to turn in. So since I've got such a huge wide gravel road here, I'm just kind of playing with like max braking and getting it turned in, which if I'm really max braking on the rear, then it throws the rear end out, which it was kind of fun and definitely scary. Hey, asphalt. Okay. Did not know that was gonna happen. And then after that quick descent, we're back in the juniper down here. Temperature's going back up. I never did put my jacket on. Places you don't want to go. That was a Continental Divide walker, I'm guessing. I just passed another one down back the ways. It's the third one I've passed, I think. It's the right time of year for it, I guess. This is what Grants, New Mexico looks like. I have driven by Grants a whole lot of times driving between Albuquerque and LA. And then this is the place with all, I believe, if I remember this road correctly, it's got all the fast food restaurants and the gas stations and the trucks that you don't know if they're really turning right or not. I think I'm just gonna do it like yesterday, try to grab some gas even though I don't really need it, have a little snack at the gas station, and then be on my way. There's a lot of Grants that has seen better days. Even though I've passed through it kind of a million times driving back and forth between Arizona and New Mexico and California and New Mexico, I've never really been curious about Grants, but I looked it up because I was making this video, and it turns out that Grants has had a lot of little booms and busts. It kind of started out as a railroad town. 3 brothers it's named after started with a contract to build a railroad, and it had a boom from the logging industry for a railroad, and when that wore out, it gained fame as the carrot capital of the U.S. They owed that success to a dam that was built nearby, so they had a reservoir full of water and some really rich volcanic soil. After that, Route 66 came through town, so they got the tourists and the economic boom of all that traffic. We all know what that probably looked like. And then uranium. A Navajo shepherd went up on the mesa and found some uranium ore, which sparked... Alright, that's better. A mining boom that threatens to spark back up today. Some park in Grants, New Mexico. In front of City Hall back there. My turn signals, they seem to have stopped working. Very short visit in Grants, New Mexico. Now we turn right. Well, I'm on the south side of I-40. That is what my goal was for today. So, success. And just outside of Grants, you turn down this road and you end up in this cute little canyon. It's a pretty cool place to be. It starts out paved and curvy. It's a lot of fun if it's not this time of day, but you're staring straight into the sun as it stands here, and it turns to dirt halfway through, and if you've got cars in front of you, it becomes a blinding mess, which tightens your whole body from your eyelids down through all your sphincters, and mysterious brick walls that look like Ford trucks come jumping out of clouds of dust trying to kill you. But soon enough I missed my turn and I did it again. So I got the sun out of my eyes. How far back I do not know. Here's the road I was supposed to take. Ooh, it's more fun right off the bat. Yeah, this is much better. It's also not quite directly into the sun anymore. Man, this is a gorgeous little meadow. Ponderosa pines, the light, the birds. How can we do better than this? I like this so much better than just being stuck in the woods like I was earlier today climbing up Mount Taylor. Mount Taylor, we didn't even get a viewpoint at the top or anything. We just climbed up it on some really boring gravel roads that just made me nervous. There were some really pretty colors. The leaves changing. This is a really pretty little section. And that pretty little section is really just a little transition to the fun little section for this area, which was some nice little trail through the woods in the shade, keeping the sun out of my eyes for a little while. But of course not before I missed my turn to head through those nice little trails. But of course I eventually do get back on track. Okay, back on the road, back on the right road. And I have a good old time riding around these trails. Hopefully it's as fun as the wrong road was. I do take my time here because I realize I'm getting tired and I don't feel like there's any need to push it, but I had a really nice time riding on this. I think it was about 7 miles, and it was actually just a little cut through the forest that avoided some of that dust into the Sun Canyon road that I was on before. I was grateful for that because eventually after this I do end up popping back out on that same road, and the same situation is still going on where I'm riding into the dust behind the cars, into the sun, and I can't see anything. And it's a pretty tough way to ride at the end of the day. This bit of trail, though, was a real pleasure. Getting to take a little break from the hard stuff that's going on really can be refreshing. I always notice it when you're on a long climb on a mountain bike, getting really tired. If you get a little stretch of downhill, it could be just a tiny, short little stretch of downhill. It really does a lot to freshen your legs and raise your spirits, and the next section of climbing can be a lot better. You might get tired again. You're probably going to get tired again, but just having a little bit of a refresh really goes a long way. And the reality of the situation here was probably that I was more tired than I wanted to admit, and I probably should have started looking for a place to camp right now, but I poked my head out into the dust and sun and suffered through that for quite a while. I didn't really film much of it because it was an ugly situation and it didn't really seem all that fun to look at. But it tired me out like crazy and probably had me not thinking quite right, if I was honest. I have been driving around Cibola National Forest on these trails I find, and I cannot find a campsite. I think the rules in the forest allow me to camp anywhere, but I am not sure. And I would rather find a place that has a fire ring. I tried two places that I saw, or I tried one place, I guess, that I saw on iOverlander, but the area was closed, I think, for the season. And so now I'm just driving around. The sun has just set. Luckily it's warm, but I'm basically just hoping I come upon something. So it's just these little 2-track trails going through here. I know for sure that I'm in Cibola National Forest, and this trail looks like it's going to take me back to the main road through there. Usually on these roads, I mean, this isn't really a road, it's a trail, but usually you find a bunch of camp spots. So maybe when I make it back to the main road, that's gonna happen. Here I am at more main road. Alright, so this is more of the type of road I would expect there to be camp spots on the side of. So hopefully I'll run into something on this road. Just past this place that you can tell people have been. I'm gonna go up here for a second and see if I can find a fire ring. But this is kind of the same thing that got me up that other path. I fully expected there to be just a camp spot. And this one just runs out. I just turned around Gonna go back to the start of this dirt road, which is a bigger dirt road, gravel road, that I've already been on today. And I wasn't looking for a place to camp at that point, so I didn't have my eyes open. I'm not sure what there is over there. I'd love to make a fire. It's starting to get cold, but not at all like the first night. Here is this dirt road, Zuni Canyon. Let's see if there's anything up here. This is the dusty into the sun road that I was on before. All I could pay attention to was just seeing where I was going, because there was a car in front of me putting up so much dust and it was into the sun. Well, alright, I give up on finding wild camping. I'm going to go to El Morro National Monument Campground. It is 25 minutes away and it's starting to get cold, so I'm going to put a jacket on underneath this jacket. Here's the annoying thing. I had already ridden down this stretch of highway probably 10 minutes from where the road intersected it, because I saw a place that I thought I could camp, and then I got there and it was closed by a gate and there was no way to get there. Then I found a place that I thought you could go on iOverlander, and that place was closed. Alright, here we are. Hopefully there's an open campsite. And then I searched all through the National Forest again. It's looking kind of busy at the moment. And turned around into the sunset here. It's looking very busy. Very busy. Son of a bitch. All the spots are taken. Well, we found a place to sleep. We got to this campsite at El Morro after dark. All the spots were full. We made the loop. There's 9 spots only, and all of them were full. It looked like on the iOverlander there was another campsite in El Morro, so I went over there. That was not true. It was just someone who had tried to mark the same spot but put it in the wrong place. But came back here and I just stopped at the first little campsite, and I just hollered in the window of the person in the converted van and asked if I could pitch my tent behind her, and she said yes. She was really nice. She actually came and offered me food after that as I was putting my tent up. I didn't take her up on that, but I talked to her and looked at her conversion for a little while. She had a really cute little conversion. This is how my sleeping pad ended up. Got a leak. So I blew it up like 3 or 4 times during the night, but pretty much I was sleeping on the hard ground. Not the greatest sleep. My back doesn't feel so great, but once I start moving, it'll feel alright. So I might try to make it to Silver City today, because I figure that's probably the one place that I can get to that will have a sleeping pad for me to buy, because sleeping without one is no good for me. Oh well. So, I never did get to Silver City, and that's probably because that route does not go through Silver City. Shows you how much I had looked into what happens on that route before I left. I had looked at the general route. I could have sworn I went through Silver City and I was going to get a chance to buy a new pad, but that was not the case. I feel like I knew that I could camp anywhere I wanted in the National Forest, but I just wasn't quite sure, and I guess I really wanted to make a fire, but then I didn't end up getting a fire anyway, did I? Either way. Just kind of a silly way to end the day. Those first 3 videos I put out, especially the third one where I started this trip, have done so much better than I expected them to do. I mean, numbers are weird, numbers are numbers. I didn't really expect anybody to watch these videos, But it's pretty cool that you guys did, and I hope you keep watching them in the future. So, you know, subscribe to the channel and follow along if you want to see what happens next. Obviously, if you want to go on other trips with me in the future, if you just like my cute smile, subscribe, hit the like button. I meant to, last time I talked at the end of the video, before I put out those first 3 videos, I wanted to say thank you to 2 people in particular. My nephew Ben, who gave me his GoPro when he went away to college. I don't think this would have happened if he hadn't done that, so thank you, Ben. And my girlfriend Evie, if she wasn't the least judgmental person that I have ever met, I don't know that I would have ever started doing this. I've been thinking about making YouTube videos for probably years, which is a common story amongst YouTubers, but even though she didn't explicitly encourage me to do this, I think that her non-judgment attitude and openness to whatever in life encouraged me in its own way, and so I do want to say thank you to Evie as well. Thank you, Evie.